Ladies and gentlemen, your president with an important message.
And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it because we can do it. And I will keep fighting for my cancer moonshot so we can end cancer as we know it because we can do it.
There you have it. Now, I don't know about you all, but if I had known that Joseph R. Biden was running on bringing us cancer moonshine that cures cancer, I would have been pro-Biden this whole time. I mean, it's not enough that he's making us moonshine, okay? It's cancer moonshine? What better way to celebrate having your cancer cured than with a few shots of moonshine? Are you kidding me right now? I mean, some people get the single X, double X, triple X, quadruple. If you're in the forests of Scranton, where this amazing man grew up with a stutter. But he has taken the time to take the end of his presidency and make us cancer moonshine. I don't know about anybody else, but I can't wait to try it. I cannot wait to try it. Oh my gosh. A whole bunch of little fun things like that were said in Biden's address since, he basically disappeared, dropped out of the race, made a questionable phone call or two to Kamala Harris while she was out and about trying to convince people that she's not absolutely crazy. And we're going to go through all of that, okay? That was the first thing. And guess what? I had to pull that up on Twitter because when I went to CNN, and I went to go find this nice little clip because I wanted to get the full context for everybody, okay? Oh, I always wanted to see if he was going to talk about how he's going to make the cancer moonshine. I was going to, see what the recipe was. Maybe he was going to give us a taste profile. Are there going to be different flavors? I don't know. I wanted to know. CNN cut it out. How about that? Isn't that interesting? Oh, man, the changing of history. I told you, these news outlets mold reality. They're supposed to reflect reality. They're supposed to reflect what people are thinking. They're supposed to ask the questions that we're all thinking about and need answers, but they don't do that anymore. They mold our reality. They try to at least. Thank God I had X to go to. Otherwise, I'd be like, oh, I guess I didn't actually hear that. I guess that was wrong. Because I was watching it via CNN Live, and then after, when it was done and I went back to it, they cut that part out. How about that? Listen, Biden lied about a lot of things in this whole thing. We're just going to go through it all one by one. Let's just start here. Let's just get right into it.
We finally beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And I'm going to keep fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors. More people have health care today in America than ever before.
He beat Big Pharma, folks. Folks, let me tell you something. In the debate, he said he beat Medicare, and it didn't make any sense. I know it didn't. I was there. But now he's beat Big Pharma. That's incredible. So that means now they are not owning more than 80% of the advertising of all news and outlets. Is that right? Oh no, they still own all the advertising. Okay. Of all the news outlets? Okay. All right, well, all right. But they don't lobby in the government anymore. That's done. Good job. No? Oh wait, they still okay. But he beat them? Oh, cuz he got one thing lower in price. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Well, I guess that's a start. I guess that is pretty much beating them, right? Let's not nitpick. He beat Big Pharma. That's what he did. Let's move on to the next thing. He's just saying ridiculous things. You know what? I've been asking for this for weeks. Just turn off the teleprompter and let him go. I've been waiting for the version of Biden that has no speechwriters, and they just say, go tell him what you think, Joe. And he just goes out there. He's like, all right, I can't wait to do this. Tell Elon Musk to fire up the jet and get my uncle from Papua New Guinea. He was eaten by cannibals, but there's still some of them left. Bring him over here. And if that corn pop is at this speech when I swear I'll punch that corn pop out. Oh man, just let him go. Let him rant. Let him rant. We beat Big Pharma. Everything's good. Listen to this.
The world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. And today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office. I've kept my commitment to appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also...
Hey, listen to me right now, okay? Now, you may not realize it. With that appointing of the first black woman Supreme Court, listen, he doesn't like blacks. It's a big achievement. Let me tell you something. It's hard to put blacks in positions of power when you haven't liked them for decades of your life. Okay? So we gotta clap for him for that, okay? We do. And the border, it's lower than the previous administration. That's not true. That's not true at all. And there's thousands of them walking through right now, and they're getting handed debit cards and bus rides wherever they want. And that's fine because he cleared out all the hotels, you know, the nicest ones, and they'll stay there and they'll get food. And listen, he's making it up, but it sounds so good. So we let him say it. Just let him go. The border's lower than it's ever been. If you never go to the border, he's kind of right. If you don't see it, does it really exist? You know what I mean? If 100,000 people cross the border and there's no one there to see it because it's completely open, did they really cross? You know? It's a philosophical thing. You got to catch up to this guy. And crime's at an all-time low. So tell everybody that's going through riots right now in their convenience stores and in their Gucci stores and in their Walmarts, tell them it's not real. That's it. That's all we got to do. That's all we got to. I'm on board. Listen, whatever gets me cancer moonshine, I'm on board for. I don't know about the rest of you. Okay. Are you going to support this man or not? Guy said he's going to bring us cancer moonshine. Don't you want to know what that is? Are you kidding me? I want to know what that is. All right, let's get into the other things he says. Oh, this one's the best. Is this it? Oh, this is it. No, let me rewind a little bit. Oh, it's golden.
I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform because this is critical to our democracy, Supreme Court reform. You know, I will keep working to ensure America remains strong and secure and the leader of the free world. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere in the world. We'll keep rallying a coalition of proud nations to stop Putin from taking over Ukraine and doing more damage.
You hear that, everybody? We're not at war at all. There's no war going on. Okay? And to ensure there's no war, he's going to keep financing the war that has been going on to continue the war so there's no war. It's not that hard to understand, okay? It's not that hard to understand. There's no war, okay? That's how it works. You say it and it happens. This is a powerful man. Look at this man's eyes. This is a powerful man, all right? This is a very powerful man. If he says there's no war, there's no war. Everybody pack it up. Clean up the bodies. Okay? Clean up. Oh, there's a war everywhere. It's everywhere. But whatever, man. This is just what he has to say. And you know what can you say? You can't say anything to him. You just kind of gotta just be like, all right, man. Sure, sir. Let me tell you something. I was watching this via Ben Shapiro as well. I was going back and forth. I wanted to see if there's a difference between CNN and what Ben Shapiro was showing. And I don't know where he was getting his source from, but Daily Wire, whatever. And afterwards, Ben Shapiro started talking, and he made a great point about how this guy messing up, like stumbling over words, talking very slowly. The speech is only about 11 minutes long, and it was very difficult for him. You know, and I thought of that Ben Shapiro, not a conspiratorial guy. He's a well-measured individual, unless we're talking about a certain topic, then he gets a little emotional. But other than that, pretty level-headed. And then it made me think of this that happened recently. Listen to this. This is Joe Biden. Listen.
With her, with Kamala. And by the way, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be out there in the campaign with her, with Kamala. I'm going to be working like hell, both as a sitting president, getting legislation passed, as well as in campaigning. What we still need to save this democracy. And Trump is still a danger to the community, is a danger to the nation. And passed, as well as in campaigning. What we still need to save this democracy. And Trump is still a danger to the community.
So that was supposedly Joe Biden. But also this.
Years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices, fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now. Over the next 6 months, I'll be focused on doing my job as president. That means I'll continue to lower costs for hardworking families.
Are you telling me both those voices are him? So when he's over the phone, he's a whippersnapper.
And by the way, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be out there in the campaign with her, with Kamala. I'm going to be working like hell, both as a sitting president, getting legislation passed, as well as in campaigning.
But when he's in front of the entire nation, that was just a couple hundred people, right? But now he's in front of the entire nation, entire world, really.
Grow our economy. I'll keep defending our personal freedoms and our civil rights, from the right to vote to the right to choose. I'll keep calling out hate and extremism. Make it clear there is no place in America for political violence or any violence ever, period.
And that's him as well. And also to what he said there, he's right. There's no place for extremism. And then in the same breath, as soon as the cameras go on, he's like, that Trump is Hitler. Get another camera on. I want to tell the world about how Trump is Hitler. I want him in the bullseye, you understand? But not in the crosshairs, in the bullseye. You see, when you have an iron scope, you're in the crosshairs. But when you have one of those professional scopes, you're in the bullseye, you understand? Mr. President, we're not going to let you say that in front of the world. I'm just saying. He's a threat to democracy. Oh, man. Absolutely ridiculous. That was the speech. That was what everybody was waiting for. A lot of people are calling this his signs of life. Signs of life for Biden, because people didn't understand what was going on. That clip that I showed you, this was already verified by Joe Rogan as being 98% likely to be AI, which makes perfect sense when you listen to this whole thing. There's like a 4-minute clip of it. When you listen to that, you're like, this can't be him. And then all of a sudden he gets in front of everybody. He sounds completely different. Makes no sense. It's exactly what I said when I heard this recording. I was like, he gets sick and then he sounds better? No, this is what you sound like if you're sick and you're recovering. If you are even sick. I really don't know. Very interesting stuff. That was Biden's address, and I'm dead serious. Where I'm just a little undecided, Like, do you want a world where America stops going to war, at Trump at the helm, America pulls out of all these wars, makes peace between Russia and Ukraine, peace in the Middle East, starts calling out these politicians, starts cleaning up these agencies? Or do you want cancer moonshine? I just want to know what it tastes like. I'm just saying, right? We give this guy another 4 years. Who knows how many cancer moonshines he'll make for? That's what Kamala's been drinking. That's what Kamala's been drinking. She's been drinking cancer moonshine since the day she started. Biden's walking up to her. Hey, come here. You're the maid, right? Give this a try. I'm your vice president. You understand, Joe, that there is a president, and that's you. You standing there. And then there's a vice president, and that's me. Me. Yeah. Is this moonshine? Okay. That's what they're doing in the White House. They're just banging back cancer moonshine. It would explain so much. I'd have so much more respect for what's been going on the past 4 years. They were like, listen, there is just cases of this cancer moonshine everywhere, and we've been drinking it every day, and that's why Hunter's in the position that he's in, and that's why Kamala's the way she is, and that's why I talk so slow. I'd be like, God damn it, Mr. President, why didn't you tell me sooner? I'd be like, all right, that's fine. That's fine. Can you stop for a little while? Just the last 6 months? You just give it just before the election, you stop? He ain't stopping. I wouldn't stop either if I had access to cancer moonshine. I got to be honest with you. I don't even drink, but it just sounds too alluring. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to bring you that. Those were the highlights. Honestly, those were the highlights. He's making things up. And it's crazy that there's so much talk about how Trump lies. You know, oh, he just lies about everything. Oh, he doesn't care. And then you'll have Biden say all these things. He's talking about the economy being the best, 15 million jobs. We know a lot of those jobs, probably more than half. I shouldn't say probably more than half. It's about half that are bounce back jobs. Bounce back because how many people stopped working or had to work remotely during COVID. When they go back to the office, when they get reinstated, when they go back to work, those are considered bounce back jobs. So they're jobs that are they're gone, but they're not really gone. They're waiting for the people. The people are waiting to go back to work. So it's not a true reflection what they're saying. You know, if you include bounce back jobs, yes, there is some truth to what they're saying, but you shouldn't be counting bounce back jobs. And just what they're saying about the economy and what they're saying about what he's saying about war. And it's just also like right now, people feel like they're closer to World War III than ever before. I shouldn't say than ever before. I'm sure back in the day, they always thought something was going to happen. But during this administration, it seems like they've just been inching and inching and inching. You know, Russia's putting these clear red lines in the sand and they're just stepping over them. And Russia says, hey, don't give them anything. And Biden's just like, I'm going to give them some stuff. Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy at this point. So, I don't know, man. I mean, there's literally Russia. I don't know if the ships are still there, but there's been Russian warships 60 miles off the coast of Florida. Right Cuba. Like, come on. What are we talking about here? He has us in such a terrible situation. And he's talking like, you know, it's interesting because he's talking like this is the end of his presidency. Like right now, he's done being president. But he's still president until Trump wins. That's what's going to happen. He's still president until then. It's very odd the way that he's talking. And also, this was supposed to be the moment where he explained why he was dropping out of the race. And he doesn't really explain. He just says, I think it's time for younger voices. So because, and this, obviously, I mean, I don't have to tell you guys this, because if he says, oh, I don't feel up to it, then people are going to be like, well, then why are you shouldn't be president. If you don't feel up to being president in the next 4 years, you shouldn't be president for the next 6 months or whatever it is. Obviously, that's what's going to be said. Man, it's a wild world. Wild world, man. I can't wait to cover more of Kamala. But I have to say, this duo, this comedy duo that is Biden-Harris is a solid duo. I mean, solid. You know what I mean? Biden is just, oh, he's just off, you know? I don't want to make fun of him too much. He's just off. And then we have Kamala. Kamala's like him, but higher energy, you know? And that's scary, but it's also really funny. So I can't wait to make fun of her more in the next coming weeks. And I hope you're here for that, all right? I'm going to wrap it up. Like, subscribe, turn on the notifications. It helps the channel tremendously. Comment below, and I'm out.